Crooked the road and the one driving. 25 years, I know you've been unraveling. Tell me, why did you run past the dogs and the horses? Now you find yourself here, past the do's and don'ts of your choices. But if you're leaving, no, I'll stay beside that telephone line.
Welcome back. What I want to talk about today is something that actually was really what I had hoped to do with this YouTube when I first started, which was lessons that I felt like I learned in my 20s that I wish I had thought of and reflected on sooner. And I had started that idea as I was about to turn 30. And for a lot of different reasons, that idea kind of stalled, and spent a lot of time reflecting on them. And hopefully you've watched the videos that came before this, but the idea is always that these are just short reflections on things that I feel like matter in life, that sometimes we might not get to talk about with people that are close to us. And by making these videos, I hope that it sparks a thought to talk about things with people in your life that you're close to, or strangers, or whatever. So anyway, what I've been thinking about recently is what I was trying to do and what I was trying to articulate, that is so difficult when you enter your 20s, and honestly for the rest of your life, like once it happens, is the idea of operating within your values and existing in the world where those values are constantly in conflict. You grow up with some set of rules and, what is told to you as fairness and all of these things. And so you have an idea of it when you're younger. In your 20s, and like I said, every year after, you are in environments where those values that you might hold dear and that might make you who you are challenged. And every day you have the opportunity to choose your values or to choose something else, whether that's, the movement that letting go of some of your values might hold, or the pleasure, the joy, the opportunity. There are a lot of reasons that you might decide not to operate within your values. And if you make the choices enough, it's not your value anymore, right? And in your 20s, or at least in my 20s, I should bring it back to me, there were so many spaces where I was hoping for leadership and to see people act on things that I felt were important and just and fair. And they didn't do that. They did the opposite. They did things for themselves. If you're not careful in your 20s, if you don't find a way to protect and understand yourself in that, you risk losing it. You risk losing a lot of the joy that comes from being a person that, when presented something, can easily say yes or no. And I'm not here to say that I operate in perfect values all the time, because I don't. But I know my values, and I know the things that are important to me. A community where people are um, given equity and given a chance and provided grace, and at the same time work hard and have fun and are honest, right? And in all of my professional roles, there have been spaces where people have fabricated results, um, for one reason or another. And sometimes it's small, and in other times it was large and disingenuine. You know, there are a lot of things that come to mind when speaking about that. And I think the heartbreaking thing, beyond just, you know, realizing that things like this exist in the world every day, the heartbreaking thing is watching the people around you let it go for whatever reason. And I wanted to make this video first for this year because we are in a time, we're living in a world, a country, but also a world where the people that are in power, and I mean this in our jobs, I mean the generations that are coming before us, they are mixed up in a lot of different value sets. And rightly so, right? But it's not okay. We're not in a good place. And I don't mean that in any way other than human to human. There are so many things that are being created and designed and implemented, whether it's our technology or our politics or even just the ways that we engage with our communities, that are flawed. And they are flawed because the people designing them are flawed. And this isn't a character critique of people. We all have weaknesses in roles that we play. But when you are leading and managing or designing systems for people, there's a lot more care that needs to go into it. And based on my personal experience, not everyone cares, right? For some folks, and for a lot of folks, actually, a job's a job. You go in, you do some task, and you go home, and that's it. And that's heartbreaking too, right? Because a value of our work should be the output, and our output should be great. And so I'm making this video because I think, one, it's important for everyone to spend some time to consider their values. And two, I'm hoping that these thoughts can inspire you, wherever you are, to consider the people and the decisions that are being made in the areas that you operate in, and to just think about what values are driving those decisions. At some point, there needs to be actionable change. But I think the first step to building stronger communities, stronger products and outcomes is just the root understanding of who each of us is and how that affects our decisions on a very micro level. Because again, I have different values than you, and those values won't always agree. However, we can make great things that come from values that we do agree on. And it should be the consensus of values and not the values of people that hold the final yes or no. that are driving what our communities look like. And I know that's a complicated mess, but I've seen firsthand communities that don't grow because they are misaligned in both the values of the community and also the people that are leading those decisions. And if we're not careful, we lose the thing that we're trying to build. And in a lot of areas, at least in the world that I see, we're losing a lot all the time. Whether it's equitable access to things like sidewalks or just how things are designed to move through them, to what we're given for attention and health, to even the ways that we are encouraged to interact with one another. So I don't have any solutions this video, but like I said, I think I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So I don't have any solutions right now. It's the start of a fresh slate of days to understand, problems and work towards solutions for them. And so that's what this is. I'm presenting you one piece of something I think is a problem, and I'm hoping it sparks some conversation and encouragement with you. Until next time.
But next to you, I lay softly on this hard ground.
Yeah, I held this mic the whole time. I don't know why. It was comforting. It was comforting. I did like that. I can't say I'll hold it again, but it did feel official. I did feel good. So